enjoying bumper season, the target men will again be expected to prosper. Between them, Dan Shanahan and Paul Flynn have contributed 43 championship goals, some record. Well, Limerick's management team make 3 changes from the side that started the quarter-final against Clare last Sunday week. Peter Lawler is fully recovered now from the dreaded flu and comes back in at wing half for Mark O'Riordan. Shawnee O'Connor, equally at home at full forward, gets Niall Moran's wing forward jersey, and Donny Ryan, who's 1 goal and 2 points when he came on against the banner revitalised Limerick, well, he takes the spot vacated by the luckless Kevin Tobin. Joining me is my co-commentator Donal O'Grady. He's going to take a closer look. We know there'll be changes, but no change in goal.
No, Clinton Hesse has been there and has been there for a couple of years now and is doing very, very well for them.
Right into the full back line where Declan Prendergast now seems to be a fairly firm fixture.
Yeah, well, 2 and 3 won't change there, but I can see Brian Phelan will play left half back normally, and Aidan Carney will slip back to number 4 position where he normally occupies.
Yeah, we can see Carney there in the middle eventually, or maybe going back, and the Bull, as he's known, Brian Phelan, joining Tony and Ken.
Yeah, well, that'll be their half back line. I think Tony Brown, Ken McGrath are very impressive this year, so, you know, major stone back thing to Limerick.
Into the centre of the park then, where you'll find the captain, who's Michael Walsh.
Well, Michael Walsh and Owen Kelly, that represents Waterford's best midfield, but whether Owen Kelly will stay there or not, because Jack Kenny has been selected in the corner and he might end up midfield with Owen Kelly going to centre forward or any the wing forward position, so, you know, that's a bit of a lottery when it comes to Waterford team.
On the half forward line there, you've got Stephen Malumphey, man of the match the last day.
Yeah, but, you know, he'll probably line out on the left, and Paul Flynn will go from there to the corner, and Seamus Prendergast will alternate between full centre and maybe right half forward for puckouts.
And into the full forward line where you'll find Dan Shanahan, number 14, 8 goals and 8 points already this season.
Yeah, well, Dan has been the main threat for Waterford, the main goal getter, and he'll be the main obstacle to Limerick. They'll have to mark him very tightly today, and John Milan will probably go to the right corner.
Well, let's have a look at Limerick now, and we'll start with their goalkeeper, and that is Brian Murray from Patrick Swell.
Yeah, Brian Murray now has been playing for a couple of years, very safe, very sure, and has been having a good season, and you know, he relates well with his full back line.
Well, into the full back line, and Damien Rail is back. We saw him in the quarter-finals, but of course he missed the Munster final against Waterford.
He did, because of injury. He tightens things up. He's a good committed player, and Seamus Hickey himself they have pace and they have strength, and you know, he'll be in addition to Limerick today.
What about the half back line today, Donald?
Well, half back line, I suppose, a little bit of surprise, Peter Lawler, because Mark O'Riordan has a little bit more pace, but maybe they're going for experience there, and Mark Foley very experienced on the other side, and Brian Gary having a good season as well.
They've been trying to stick to a regular team pattern, and the 2 midfielders are getting a lot of experience together. Well,
they're doing quite well, and Michael O'Brien, I think, is a bit of a battler, whereas Donal O'Grady picks up the breaks, and a good combination, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some other Limerick player coming out there to supplement their efforts as well.
Well, they have made their changes on the forward line, and one of the changes is going to see Shawnee O'Connor, as he's known, in at left half forward.
That's right. He might be there because he's tall just to catch the puck outs, but hasn't played a long time, and you know, that's certainly a gamble for Limerick.
And one more change of the team, as I mentioned earlier, Donny Ryan. Well, he did well when he came on against Clare.
Well, he has done well in most games, Ger, and he carries the ball well. You know, his final delivery is what's in question where Donny's concerned, but he can have blinders, and you know, he can be a little bit headless at times, but when he's playing well, he's definitely a plus for him.
Well, that's our close-up look at the 30 men who are going to start. Our head-to-head today, it features the 2 number 10s, both having outstanding years. Stephen Malumphey on the left for Waterford and Mike Fitzgerald for Limerick. How will they make out? We'll find out soon. Throw in about 11 minutes' time. Back to Michael.
Yeah, Gerard, it's been a good year for Stephen Malumphey so far, but will he reach an All-Ireland final? This is the whole thing, Anthony. You know, we saw with Monaghan the last game, he can be within touching distance of glory. There's touching distance now to an All-Ireland final for either Limerick or Waterford.
That's absolutely right, Michael, and we just saw there how heartbreaking it was for Monaghan, like, but you'd say to yourself, was it a fear of winning rather than a fear of losing? They held them back near the end of it. Now, going back to the hurling, both of these teams are longing to get into an All-Ireland final. Like Limerick were there in the 90s, Waterford haven't been there in so long. But it just goes to show, even with Kerry, you know, All-Ireland champions and so experienced and everything, their heads weren't right coming into it, I'd say, and they started to believe a bit about being champions and overwhelming favourites. The danger for Waterford today is that they've finally beaten Cork in a knockout game. They've that monkey off their back. They're within touching distance at the big crack at Kilkenny. Are they treating this one with the respect it deserves? If they do, I think they'll come through, but otherwise, you never know. There is one kind of flip over, Michael Digan, which is this. Kerry, in fairness, hadn't played a match for quite some time, and they were a little bit rusty early on. There's no doubt about that. That's no disrespect to Monaghan. The roles are flipped a little bit here, because Waterford have been playing here in Croke Park the last couple of weeks
Yeah, well, that can be a plus or minus. You know, I think playing 3 weeks in a row in Croke Park is not ideal in an ideal world. Limerick, on the other hand, have been sitting back, but it's where the balance is right. You know, Waterford, I thought last weekend looked very, very composed. They didn't play anywhere near their best, but they did enough, and they outgunned Cork in the end. And they could be just coming in this with a bit more still in the legs, whereas Limerick are coming very fresh. Limerick have nothing to lose. They're coming up here, they're written off by everyone. I forgot about them last Sunday. There was only a slip of the tongue, but I forgot about them. I had Waterford straight into the final, so they'd like to rub my nose in it this evening as well.
Sure they would.
So, you know, they've nothing to lose. Waterford have everything to lose in a way because they're expected to win. But, you know, I expect Waterford to have a better forward line and they'll have more options and they're going to win it.
We saw, you know, with Kerry, even though they weren't firing on all cylinders, we saw in the end they kind of pulled away from Monaghan. They got the scores. Now, one thing that Waterford have been doing this year with brilliance is the way they finish matches.
Yeah, the bit of composure, Michael. And we spoke all year about Waterford and the maturity. We spoke about them winning the league and no big celebrations, straight back training with their clubs that week, won the Munster final, no great celebrations. Again, the draw with Cork, you know, everybody said maybe had they lost their chance, but they were 4 points down with 2 minutes to go that day. Didn't panic, played it out, goal came and they played on, got the free draw and were the better team than last week. And I think they are beginning to show that extra bit of maturity and that know how to win. And winning the league was a big plus for them early in the year. It got them going.
I think also Limerick are probably benefiting from a similar point. I think they started the year with very little confidence. First year with Richie Bennett and Gary Kirby, the passion was there, but the draw against, they came back against Tip twice, they were gone, and now they begin to believe in themselves. And you know, the bit of confidence gathering, the work rate in the forward, in the workload or the excellency has been spread around the forward line, and I see them improving as the year has been going on.
Well, it's over while your time here on the Sunday Game Live, and it's time to hand back over indeed to Michael Guyton, who's going to take us through his thoughts on this game.
Yeah, you know, I picked out, I suppose, the Waterford Warrior as he's described there, but it's Ken McGrath, and you know, we always talk about him, but I think he means more to this Waterford team than just the performances he gave. He's the heart and soul of the team, and really, if Limerick are to have any chance at all today, they have to have a game plan for Ken McGrath. I was very surprised with, there's Ollie Moore in the Munster final, but I was very surprised by Cork. Timmy McCarthy did well for 20 minutes or so, but I think they should have put Jerry O'Connor or someone in. I think the only way you can play him, he sweeps left and right, he doesn't worry about his opponent, but you need to put somebody on him that can snipe 2 or 3 points off him and make him mark his man. And look at this for a catch going backwards, like he's just unbelievable. But I think Ollie Moore today, apart from maybe trying to restrict, I don't think he can stop a hurler like Ken McGrath because he's so good. But I think if Ollie Moore drifts off and gets a point or two and gets Ken to, you know, to mark up tighter, that's more important. Now here's Andrew O'Shaughnessy. The expectancy on this man's shoulders since he was about 17 years of age has been huge. Like they won 321 All-Irelands in a row, but he's been seen as their messiah. And this year he has come of age, has, you know, in most matches. Now the last day he scored 11 points against Clare, scored 5 from play, and I think, you know, that if he can reproduce that form today, or Limerick have a huge chance. They've really been lacking an outstanding forward. If you look at any teams that win All-Irelands, they always have one special forward, whether it be Shefflin, whether it be Dan the Man, whether it be Ben O'Connor or Joe Dean, or going back, you know, Johnny Dooley or a Sparrow O'Loughlin or something. There's always one person that makes the difference, and I think he has to be the man if Limerick want to win.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's an intriguing prospect. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. This is just a short break.
You look like him.
Chief of Police and Chief Suspect.
Like me?
Denzel Washington in Out of Time, Wednesday at 9:30 on RTE1.
It's not a goal. It's a target. You're not a player. You're an all-star.
They're in the parade. Anthony Daly, are you brave enough to tell us who's going to be in the All-Ireland final?
Well, Michael, I think the big thing is that we're not going to have a Kilkenny Cork final anyway, and whoever gets here on merit, because both these two teams have lit up the championship this year. What a hurling championship we've had, and both these teams have been hugely responsible. But I just think the better quality player, Waterford possessed the better quality player around the field, and especially up front, and I think that might make the difference. But if their heads are not right, this could be a battle right down to the wire.
Michael Guyton.
Yeah, I think it'll be Waterford. I think another advantage that Waterford have is that Justin McCarthy is 6 years with them. Richie Bennett and Gary Kirby are 1 year with Limerick. And Waterford are interchanging their players. I expect Owen Kelly to go to centre forward. The move I'm talking, that Limerick needs someone to contain Ken McGrath. Owen Kelly will go to centre forward and Brian Geary and try to pick up a few scores there. So I'm going for Waterford, better forward, better balance, and Waterford to win by 4 or 5.
So it's a Waterford definitely, and a Waterford but here in the studio. Let's see how it all works out. Then let's go over to our commentary team, and they are for the big match, Ger Canning and Donald O'Grady.
Thanks indeed, Michael. And it has a monster final feeling about it, even though, as we know, it's the Guinness All-Ireland Hurling semi-final. Place at stake in the All-Ireland final itself, first Sunday in September. Kilkenny there waiting, following their victory last week. Will Ken McGrath be there? That's the one thing he has been craving for in recent years. A Waterford team beaten in 4 semi-finals in the 6 years that Justin McCarthy has been in charge. They've won the Munster title on 3 occasions, as we know. But what they want, what they are craving for, is a place in the final and the possibility of lifting home the McCarthy Cup itself. And Limerick standing there against them. Michael Duignan was joking that he had forgotten about them last week. Well, of course, hadn't forgotten about them, just there was so much excitement and hype when Waterford and Cork were playing their replay. But Limerick are fired up. Talking to Gary Kirby a little while ago, and they are ready for this, as ready as they're ever going to be. And they've come a long, long way in the last 12 months. Donald O'Grady's alongside me. Donald, Waterford, as we know, they've won the league. They beat Kilkenny in Thurles beginning of May or the very end of April, wherever it was. And they've come and they've won the Munster title as well, as I said, for the 3rd time this decade. But all of that will count for nothing if they don't win this match. That's the kind of pressure they are under.
Well, I suppose, Jerry, you're correct in one way, in that they are under a little bit of pressure because they want to get to the All-Ireland final. Limerick stand in the way, but having said that, they've been going the right way about things all through the year. They've been winning the games that they needed to win, and they've been winning them well. Came down from 4 points down against Cork in the first match of the quarter-final, and, you know, got out of jail, so to speak, and won well in the next day. So I think they're in prime position. They have an excellent forward line, and that's the big question mark, I think, over Limerick. They haven't been getting the goals, and will they get the goals today? Because I think they'll need the goals to put Waterford away. So, you know, you'd have to fancy Waterford with the form they've been in this year and with the power plays that they have up front.
Dan the man, he's been some player this year. What a season he's had, and what a last 4 years the man has had as well. Very level-headed guy, very nice man, and the kind of fellow I know most people would love to see get to a final. But will it happen? It's not about niceness, it's not about being rewarded for being a pleasant man. It's about getting through the business now over the next 70 minutes and earning that spot in the final, coveted position in the All-Ireland final this year. The coaches have done their jobs and done it really well. Justin McCarthy, the manager of Waterford, Richie Bennis, of course, the manager of Limerick. A wonderful setting, most spaces in the stadium taken up. And following the drama of the previous game where Kerry just came back, let's see what happens for Richie's team, and Gary there, who is his nephew. And not too long ago, Gary was out there starring. I was reminding him he was wearing the number 11 jersey for Limerick when they last played in an All-Ireland semi-final. That was against Antrim, and it was 1996. 11 years on. What's going to happen here? It's an enticing prospect. Limerick have won the toss here, by the way. They'll play from right to left, which is from that end you're looking. Up to that end we're looking at now, up towards Hill 16. And before the action, St. Michael's brass band from Enniskillen will be playing the anthem, but before that there is going to be a minute's silence for Tom Chasty, or Chasty as of course he was known in Waterford, one of the great names in the GAA.
He was also on the All-Ireland winning team of 1959.
Yes, a wonderful moment. Cork had Ring, Limerick had Mackey, Wexford had Rackard, Waterford had Chasty. How we'd love to be here. He's looking down, no doubt. Now, our Onavian.
Liam Gannon from Ross's Point in Sligo, and played by Commander of St. Michael's Scouts in Enniskillen. Around the Liam.
It really is a perfect day for hurling. Very good conditions right now. It was misty and wet, very damp indeed at times during the football before this game, but that's all cleared away right now. And overhead I can see blue skies, mixture of white as well, some cloud, a little overcast right now. Little wind, or very little indeed, right around the ground. The match official is Seamus Roach, as in the Munster final from Kilsheelan Kilcash in County Tipperary. He was the All-Ireland final referee in 2005 as well. Whoops, the sumo wrestling is starting before you even get going here. Take it easy. Jack Kennedy in the middle of that. Referee eventually says, come on lads, let's play. All-Ireland semi-final getting underway then, and it's John Molan who switches across to top of the right here. Getting good primary possession, being marked by Seamus Hickey, and the referee says, you took too many steps, John. Free against you.
Well, that's one thing, Gerard, that Seamus Roach is he's very exact on the spot, on the steps.
And he's thrown the ball in because the free wasn't taken on the right spot, and Seamus Hickey gets the ball away. Jack Kennedy's in the middle of the park, being marked there by Mike O'Brien. Meanwhile, that's back by Brian Phelan. None is the ball. Pressure on. Lucy getting it back towards his goalkeeper, Brian Murray. Goalkeeper keeps a cool head. He's had a busy season, a long season, and done really well. Michael Walsh blocked the first time. Pressure on. They work it away, and work it away well through Shawnee O'Connor. Coming out to take it there is Aidan Carney. Under pressure immediately from Andrew O'Shaughnessy. Former college mates at St. Coleman's College in Fermoy. Opponents this afternoon. Limerick trying to work it. Waterford having to defend valiantly, and there's a free in. Mike Fitzgerald, the player, on the ground, picking himself up. The young Garda, who's having a terrific season. He's one of our head-to-head men today. Watch out for the two number 10s. Here he is picking it up, then he was stripped. So there's a chance for Andrew O'Shaughnessy to put it over Clinton Hennessy's crossbar from just 20 metres out. No mistake. Good start by Limerick. So Limerick are off and running, and their fans have travelled in huge numbers. There were about 15,000 Limerick fans at this game, might even be more. That was the number who managed to get tickets in and around the Limerick area. And to be certain, the Limerick people in Dublin would have picked up tickets as well. Not going to miss this occasion. Back once again, Limerick making the better start. O'Shaughnessy going deep. Little ball ahead here as far as Ollie Moran. And that's to the right, wasted opportunity.
Yeah, well, Joe, we've spoken about that before, about Limerick's lack of experience when it comes to balls like that. Ollie Moran could have held that and just passed it back into Andrew O'Shaughnessy and the other way.
A little flag behind Clinton Hennessy would indicate that the breeze, what breeze there is behind Limerick in the first half. That's a great catch by Shanahan this time. Playing out around the 40 this particular match, Dan Shanahan. And there, Limerick have got a free against them. Stephen Lucy coming out with it there, fouling. Free into Waterford, chance to level the match immediately. Seamus Prendergast leaving it for Paul Flynn.
Yeah, and Dan Shannon is operating on the 40, and Prendergast has gone in full forward.
So, this time, it's Waterford's Paul Flynn who has a chance of replicating what O'Shaughnessy did at the other end. And he curls it beautifully. So a point apiece, and the free takers settling into their rhythm immediately. What a tally that is in 40 championship matches. And he's got into full forward, as you can see, Paul Flynn, being marked by Stephen Lucy. He has got Milan on his right-hand side. And Seamus Prendergast is across on the left. That's the shape of the Waterford full forward line in this particular semi-final. That's Peter Lawler getting it back. They try to get it away. Leading the full-back there, Declan Prendergast. Up as far as Dan Shanahan, made a very, very good run. Into the path then of John Milan, trying to keep it in play, but too much pace on it. That rain that we had earlier on made the surface a little bit lively. Dan Shanahan does so much work, his angled runs from right to left, just watch them.
Yeah, well, he's moved, he's right half forward now, Ger, actually, which is probably for Waterford's puck outs, and Owen Kelly is playing as an orthodox centre forward.
And Kelly has been marked by Brian Geary. Well, it's going to be interesting to see just who would pick up Dan Shanahan, whether they would detail a particular man marker to cover him wherever he went. Shanahan is still at right half forward as we speak. Meanwhile, the other number 11, Ollie Moran, right in the thick of all of that, and the referee's got a call for the ball. Jack Kennedy there as well. He'll throw the ball in. Point apiece. Scores coming from frees. Running repairs in the background there to the hurley of Ken McGrath. Just making sure the splicing's okay. Again, a bit of jostling. Huge pressure on Waterford in particular, out for the third Sunday in a row. As Donald O'Grady plays this ball in towards Brian Begley, runs inside Donny Ryan. Oh, he's got another! There's no stopping Donny Ryan. 5 minutes are gone, and Donny Ryan, who got a goal and two when he came on as a sub against Clare, has made the perfect start here. Uncertainty at the back for Waterford, and the pacey Ryan one-handed with the stick in past Clinton Hennessy. Jack Kennedy angling this one across. Doing well, however, is Brian Geary, getting it away down towards Donny Ryan once again. Being marked this afternoon in there by Owen Murphy, who'll have his hands full. Well, Donny Ryan, I said it in the quarter-final, you never really know what to expect with this man, capable of anything.
Yeah, great score here. He's right, he just knocked it one-handed, so he couldn't be tackled and right into net, and down a little bit injured there now, Ger, and I find that was a little bit harsh, I think, by Seamus Roach on Limerick that time. I think Donny was kind of slightly pushing the back and just knelt over the ball. I don't think that he was lying on it. Normally a batch ball in that situation, but I think Seamus has made up his mind on it. Any little chamas like that he's going to give a free one way or the other.
Well, the physio's in straight away there to attend. Barry Heffernan. Dave Boyle and the doctor also keeping a watching brief, making sure that Donny's okay. Referee has issued the warning. All the medical staff off. Richie Bellis, who was in the stands for the quarter-final, and he did make his way down towards the sub area towards the end of the game. The tension got too much for him, and he was saying he couldn't quite see from the high lofty spaces of Croke Park. Ken McGrath could see. Didn't find the target, however, and Waterford rocked. Goal behind, 1-1 to a point, still in the 7th minute. Limerick are always going to have had this incentive because Waterford are the favourites. Everybody's talking already about a Kilkenny-Waterford final. It's a wonderful incentive for the outsiders coming into this.
And what they're doing well, Ger, is around the Waterford defence. They're making sure the ball doesn't come out easy.
That's Ken McGrath. Beyond Dan Shanahan this time. Seamus Hickey gets to it. Very good young player, the 19-year-old Justin McCarthy. Belting it back in. Highly successful coach wherever he's been. It'll be Tony Brown who will take the line ball. The noise level rising very, very noticeably. Owen McGrath waiting. He's on the 40, remember. Good connection all the way in towards Seamus Prendergast. Going to cause a few problems. Comes out to Hickey, however. And the youngster gets the ball away. Down towards Donal O'Grady. Michael Walsh as far as Owen Kelly. And it doesn't quite curl sufficiently there. Not quite finding the rhythm just yet. And 3 wides already for Waterford. And that will be a concern. Brian Murray playing today in his 11th championship match. Hoping that his backline will concentrate to the maximum. No lapses this time, unlike what happened in Thurles in the Munster final. It's added to there in the centre of the park by Mike O'Brien. Tony Brown getting it back once again. O'Brien going in. And line ball the outcome. A Munster clash and a Leinster base. Running repairs for Mike O'Brien. Farmer from Glenroe in County Limerick. Richie Bennett, who was in the All-Ireland final in 1973, all those years ago, playing in midfield, the same spot that Mike O'Brien played. Line ball once again in towards Flynn this time, attracting Damien Rail to him. Rail trying to roll it onto a stick, comes to Seamus Prendergast instead, and beautifully over the bar. Minimum of fuss. Great score by Seamus Prendergast after all the uncertainty. Just took it away into space, bit of an angle on it. To the left of the post, did really well.
Limerick are competing very well for the ball, Ger, but they left that one after them, and they'll need to be a bit tighter, even stop up the play, make it, get a throw in or something. But Prendergast came on very fast. One of his trademark scores, comes onto the ball quickly and over the bar.
So let's see whether Limerick can win their own puck out here. Mike Fitzgerald over there. It falls kindly to Donal O'Grady. Being pursued by Malumphy over there, the man with the white helmet. And the little pile-up linesman on the far side is Dickie Murphy from Wexford. On this near side, it's James McGrath from Westmeath. Referee again got to throw it in. That's about the 3rd time it's happened in the match. Very early stages. Peter Lawler with Malumphy. There too is the ball feeling. Get it back to Ken McGrath, opening out the broad shoulders onto the 65-metre line. That's Limerick 65-metre line. Geary on as far as Shawnee O'Connor. We're in the green helmet. The other man with a green helmet is Mike O'Brien. Towards O'Shaughnessy, being marked by Aidan Carney. Well, it's helter-skelter, and again the referee is called on to intervene. Another throw ball. Ken McGrath arriving for it, but so too was Andrew O'Shaughnessy, held as he was going through. Free to Limerick. O'Shaughnessy will probably take it himself. And the referee has just shown a black notebook, flashed it in the face of Aidan Carney. So Carney, number 7, gets a little warning.
Well, it was important, Ger, that Limerick contested the first 10 minutes well, and they've done that, and Waterford backs are finding it very, very hard to get the ball away, and Andrew has a great chance now to stick it over the bar.
From the 45-metre line, straightforward free for Andrew O'Shaughnessy. 2 from 2 for O'Shaughnessy, and there's still that goal between the teams. If you joined us late, the goal scored by Donny Ryan in the 5th minute.
And Limerick have withdrawn a player so that Owen Murphy is free for the puckouts, but they didn't use him on this occasion.
That's O'Brien adding to it there as far as Donny Ryan. Tony Brown's after him. Back on the solo again, he's had it in the hands twice. Back towards O'Shaughnessy, what a catch! What a shot! Great play. Tony Ryan made it happen up down the left-hand flank. The angle ball across to Andrew O'Shaughnessy. Wonderful catch, fabulous strike. This is great play. And Limerick lead here by 4, yes, it's Limerick lead by 4 points. Donal O'Grady unable to keep it in play.
Well, that was a great score, Ger, and you know what made it for me really was that we've obviously Donny Ryan in a similar position, and he just strikes it wide on his own side. Clever ball backwards, back to the 20-metre line from the 14-metre line, and a great catch by Andrew O'Shaughnessy, who certainly looks on his game.
I suppose the main concern for Justin McCarthy and Waterford, it's all very well to say that the players are up for it and all the rest of it, but 3 weeks on the trot, championship matches in Croke Park, you'd wonder. Not easy. Seamus Hickey here. Long way to go as he gets it towards Mike Fitzgerald. Breaks instead here. And that was Jack Kennedy, and Jack Kennedy took too many steps. Jack, who got the opening point in the National League final against Kilkenny in Thurles, hatching plans. Have to be happy enough with the way it's gone so far. 4 between them, his team in front. Sandro O'Shaughnessy fancying putting this over from just outside his own 65, or outside the Waterford 65.
Well, it's important here that it doesn't go wide. Either drops to Brian Begley, goes straight over the bar.
Well, he's gone for it. Perfect accuracy. He's had a wonderful start to this match. 4 shots, 4 points. Remember what he did against Clare. He had 13 shots at the target that day in the quarter-final, and he scored 11 points. Can't do much better than that. Clinton Hennessy trying to measure his puck out up as far as Jack Kennedy. Little knock on there, but Seamus Hickey reading it, taking it away, prodding it forward here, trying to link up with O'Shaughnessy again. O'Shaughnessy is coming deep. It's leaving Brian Begley by and large on his own, leading the inside forward line. Brian Phelan, man who's got a vital marking role to do this afternoon. Picking up Mike Fitzgerald. Jack Kennedy whipping it across here, broken down there. Flynn trying to take it up. Instead it's his man who gets it away, and a very good clearance out of danger by Damien Rail. Back once again by Declan Prendergast. Good block down. Michael Bryan returns it again, angling it across towards O'Shaughnessy, trying to get the better again of Aidan Carney here. Great move. O'Shaughnessy trying to avoid the hoop. What a goal! What a start by Limerick! Andrew O'Shaughnessy is unstoppable. 10 minutes after their last goal, he skins Aidan Carney once again, gets by, cracks it into the back of the net, his 6th ever goal in Championship hurling. What a dream start for the outsiders from Limerick. That's well away by Damien Rail. And the pressure comes in from Ollie Moran, gets in the shoulder, and Richie Bettis is furious down there. But it's going to be Waterford's possession, and Richie not one bit happy, playing the game like he's the 16th man.
Well, that was a tonic opening for Limerick, and you know, the pressure now will come on Waterford. First time that they've been led by a long time, and Limerick, if they can keep it up, they'll battle till the end.
The free by Ken McGrath. In there towards Owen Kelly, breaks down once again to Hickey, gets it away quickly. It's the perfect start for neutrals, I guess. And again, it's Michael Walsh this time, fouled as he was taking it forward, trying to lift his fellow players. Look at the possession stakes here, 61% possession with Limerick in the opening 16 minutes.
Yeah, what they've been doing, Ger, basically is they've been pressurising the Waterford half back line, and we haven't seen any, you know, very many clearances from Ken McGrath, Tony Brown, and they've been withdrawing players back to crowd out their forward line, so, you know, they're making life very difficult for the Waterford forwards.
It's over by Paul Flynn, keeping his team in touch. Paul Flynn's 250th point in Championship hurling, that was. He's got so many great ones. That includes his goals tally as well. And I better just give you that, because Flynn has scored 24 goals. That's taken up there by Michael Welch. I think Waterford are looking a bit flat. May turn around, there's a long way to go. They'll have to hope so. But the Shannon Siders are right up for this. They haven't read any programme notes that say that on the first Sunday of September it's Kilkenny against Waterford. They're very much in the hunt for this, leading by 7 points. Mark Foley. Brian Phelan coming out to try and take it. First touch, needing a second touch. Hand passing it away, Jack Kennedy. Hand passing it, or flicking it as far as Mark Foley. Foley hand passing it back. Begley avoiding the hook this time and driving it to the left. Wasted chance by Brian Begley. Second wide, however, for Limerick It's gone really well for them.
Yeah, Joe, but they can't miss chance like that. Brian Begley would have been far better off if he ran with that one and passed it inside, because his inside forwards are doing wreck at the moment.
Comes as far as Ollie Moran. Malumphey's after him, can't get to him. Moran strikes, the umpires agree, it's a point! And that's one that raises the rafters once again here. The fans absolutely loving what they're seeing here. Ollie Moran, one of the stars for Limerick in their 3 matches against Tipperary, floats a beauty. Nine attacks so far for Limerick, and they've made 7 scores. Some going. Donal O'Grady. What a catch. Donny Ryan. Carney's been switched on to him. O'Shaughnessy was too hot. O'Shaughnessy's in again, but this time Clinton Hennessy makes a great catch. That's excellent goalkeeping. Owen Murphy is now picking up O'Shaughnessy. Limerick under pressure. Malumphy hand passing it outside. Long way to go. This is Damien Rail. That's a great clearance. 50 metres down the field. Owen Murphy, however, the first one to get there. Has support players. One of them is Ken McGrath. Huge one in. He's got Dan Shanahan inside. Keeper comes. Takes it, what one goalkeeper can do securely. Brian Murray shows that he's every bit as adept. Back out to Mike O'Brien. What a semi-final this is turning out to be. And pressure on Waterford, and the foul is committed, and Owen Murphy looks up to the skies and wonders why, but the referee saw it and decided to blow against him, and he's shown him the notebook as well.
Well, both Waterford cornerbacks are on ticks now at the moment, and mainly from the pressure that Andrew O'Shaughnessy's exerting, but Brian Murray and Clinton Hennessy caught great balls under pressure there, and what was notable about them was that when they came out, that they moved the ball smartly to one of their own defenders.
Well, Andrew O'Shaughnessy's got a goal, 4 points. This is a very good position, and he puts it right over the bar. Goal and 5. Perfect start. Dublin had their bar-ons here yesterday, and Limerick have borrowed them this afternoon. And look at the glum faces that you're seeing there among the Waterford fans. Can't believe what they're seeing. Ken McGrath's lost his stick, lost the ball as well. Ollie Moran picks it up, good skill. Inside towards Begley, 1 against 1 there. Beyond Begley, however, gives a chance to Declan Prendergast. Good ball away, nobody marking Tony Brown. Chance to launch a counter-attack. Coming across here to take it in style once again is Peter Lawler. Back down towards O'Shaughnessy. He's roasted one man, he's ready for the other. And the old star Owen Murphy having his hands full. Mike Fitzgerald coming in. Number 10 is Fitzgerald trying to get it back towards O'Shaughnessy. O'Shaughnessy still causing problems. And it's Jack Kennedy who's in. He was the last man to make contact with him. Foul committed. And Andrew O'Shaughnessy is having one heck of a game.
Well, that's all about commitment, Gerard. Those balls, Limerick are tussling and fighting very, very hard for the ball once it's on the ground, and again they force the Waterford defence into committing an error, and fairly easy chance now from Shopsy with the form that he's in, about 30 metres in from goal, almost straight in front, so it shouldn't be too difficult for him.
Well, Richie's doing his whipping up the crowd act. Andrew O'Shaughnessy has got to keep a cool head now. Forget about what's going on around him. He's got 4 from 4 so far from the frees. Hasn't missed any. He's 5 from 5. Clinton Hennessy with the puck out. 9 points adrift. That's where Waterford stand at this stage as we enter the second quarter. Brian Phelan getting it forward here. Paul Flynn. If they're going to win the semi-final, they're going to have to do it the hard way. They've given their opponents today a wonderful head start. Jack Kennedy trying to eat into the lead, and he manages to put it over the bar, off the stick of the goalkeeper, but Jack Kennedy will take the credit. It's his first, and one that Waterford has very, very badly needed.
Well knocked over the bar. That's the safer thing for the keeper to do rather than try to bring it down, particularly with Dan Shannon looking at the square.
Well, there will be no panic on the sideline for Waterford, you can be sure of that. Not yet, but here's Ollie Moran avoiding the block of Ken McGrath, and he's put it over! He's got a second. Remember the 5 he got in the first match against Tipperary? And people said, well, this is a guy who's not really a 40 yards player. He'll play anywhere for Limerick. Might be better known as a right half, but he's a terrific hurler. 2 from 3 rather, to get it absolutely right for Ollie Moran. Well, the goals, they say, determine matches. If they do, this is the O'Shaughnessy's. That came after 15 minutes, a cracker into the back of Clinton Hennessy's net. Joy unconfined. Well, let's go down to the sideline, get some up-to-date news from our reporter, Joanne Cantwell. Joanne.
Well, Gerard, it looks like Owen McGrath is about to come into the action. Hopefully, Waterford are thinking he might be able to answer their prayers at the moment. He's going to replace Jack Kennedy anytime soon. Gerard.
Thank you very much, Joanne. That's going to mean a rethink, because Kennedy had started in midfield, but they're highly adaptable. Kennedy's just scored, by the way, but he's one of those fringe players, never been able to be absolutely sure of his place in the team. There's Michael O'Brien. He's working hard. Aidan Carney. Oh, running into the challenge of Mark Foley. Played in the All-Ireland final, of course, back in 1996. Beaten that day by Wexford. Across towards Andrew O'Shaughnessy. Competing there with Owen Murphy. Murphy does well. 2 green-shirted players after him. A little block from O'Shaughnessy. Took the heat out of it somewhat. Back in by Ollie Moran. Mike Fitzgerald trying to get there first. Kennedy putting in a despairing challenge. Past the man in the corner, Brian Phelan, and the referee says, hang on, you took too many steps. Free to Waterford. Well, they may not panic, but they have decided it is time to bring in the fresh man. And so, Owen McGrath comes in, and the player who's going off, Jack Kennedy.
Well, Joe, what Limerick have done is that Michael O'Brien, the midfielder, has dropped back to play a role in front of their half-back line, which is providing another little bit of cover for their defence. And I won't be surprised to see Owen Kelly coming out to the middle of the field, because they've been fairly unsuccessful there so far.
But isn't this, Donald, an acknowledgement by Waterford? They are in serious trouble when they have to bring on their impact sub in the 25th minute.